When Jennifer Lopez walked onto the stage of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, the world expected a charming conversation about her latest album. What they got instead was an explosive confrontation that ended with Lopez storming off set, leaving behind a stunned audience, a scrambling production crew, and a host who had clearly pushed too far. It started off with smiles. As always, Jennifer, radiant in a silver dress, sat opposite Colbert and thanked him for having her. But from the first question, something felt off. Instead of the usual warm-up banter, Colbert went straight for the jugular. Interesting timing for your new album, considering the talk about authenticity in the entertainment industry. The question was less curiosity, more challenge. Jennifer kept her composure, giving a measured answer about artistic growth. But Colbert didn't let up. He pressed on, suggesting her career was less about evolution and more about strategy, a polite way of saying fake. The mood in the studio shifted. What was supposed to be a celebration of music turned into a psychological takedown. Colbert accused Lopez of carefully crafting a public image, questioning whether she even remembered who the real Jennifer Lopez was. Lopez pushed back with grace. Every artist grows. That's what art is about. But Colbert wasn't interested in her answer. He wanted a reaction. He doubled down, suggesting her latest songs sounded manufactured. It sounds like what a committee thinks Jennifer Lopez should sound like. That was the tipping point. Jennifer's smile cracked. Her voice, while calm, began to harden. I've been making music for over 2 decades, she said, voice rising slightly. I've connected with millions of people. Every song I put out comes from a real place. Still, Colbert pressed. Even your anger feels manufactured, he said coldly. Lopez had had enough. She stopped smiling. She looked Colbert dead in the eyes and unleashed 2 decades worth of frustration, pain, and power. She talked about being questioned every step of her career, her identity, her voice, her place in the industry. What you're doing isn't journalism, she said. It's cruelty dressed up as critique. But Colbert still didn't back down. He mocked her again. Nice speech. Very on brand. Probably makes a great Instagram caption. The audience gasped. This had gone too far. That's when Lopez made her decision. She stood up, looked him in the eye, and calmly told him, you want authenticity? Here it is. I'm done pretending this is okay. She unclipped her mic. The room went silent. Colbert, realizing he'd lost control, tried to backpedal. We can move on to your music. But it was too late. Lopez was finished being polite. You had your chance, she said. You used this platform to humiliate me. I don't need to sit here and take this. With dignity, she walked off the stage. Before disappearing into the wings, she turned back one last time and said, next time you want to talk about authenticity, start by looking in the mirror. The studio was silent. Colbert sat frozen at his desk, face pale. Cameras kept rolling, capturing the fallout of what had just happened. Not an interview, but a public implosion. This wasn't just a celebrity walking out. It was a moment of reclaiming power, a masterclass in self-respect. And for Colbert, it might be the moment that changed his career forever.